I'm very honored and very proud to invite JingJing Zhang, Associate Professor at Beijing Normal University, in Beijing. And JingJing is very acknowledged scholar with a lot of experience with research in the education field, especially in the distance learning and MOOCs. And I'm so happy that she could bring us her knowledge to Israel and to tell us what's happening in Beijing and in the COVID area. So welcome, JingJing, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much for inviting me to this very important webinar. So my name is JingJing Zhang. I'm Associate Professor working at Faculty of Education at Beijing Normal University. It's my great pleasure to be here to talk about what China did in response to COVID-19 this year. I hope that educators from Israel and China could work together in the future to better support our educational system worldwide. Okay, so the COVID-19 has resulted in school shut in China. China has a population of 1.4 billion, of which nearly 200 million K-12 students, over 45 million higher education students, 6 million K-12 teachers, and 1.7 million higher education faculty members. That is over 270 million people in China were affected by school closure. It is the first time in history that the traditional campus-based schools have moved classes totally online. Within 1 month, China was able to control the spread of COVID-19. Life is returning to normal gradually. Qinghai, a province in northwest China, became the first to reopen the K-12 schools on the 9th of March. So far, the online learning and teaching programs in China are carrying on smoothly, thanks to the joint efforts of multiple stakeholders. That is the government, teachers, practitioners, parents, and students. First, the most important stakeholders is the government. What proved to be one of the most important factors for us to be able to support online learning and teaching for 270 million children during the pandemic is first the swift and decisive action that were taken by China's Ministry of Education, the leadership. Only 1 week after the outbreak, on the 17th of January, China's Ministry of Education announced that it was postponing the start of the 2020 spring semester. As you know, the risk control decision made by the MOE, of course, put the government in a difficult situation that people complain for many different reasons, but we acted very quickly and it worked. Although it is too early to judge how online learning and teaching affected our education system after COVID-19, there are signs that it could have a nasty impact on the further transformations of learning innovation and digitalization. As well as to the central government's reaction, provincial governments all proactively initiate a number of policies to guide their online learning and teaching programs according to their own situations. A qualitative data analysis has been conducted by the Research Center of Distance Education at BNU, where I'm based at. The content analysis of these documents show that different focuses of policy direction were given by different provinces. For example, understanding towards online learning, learner support, instructional design, teacher and management, and etc. Second, higher education and research acted as a think tank for K-12 online teaching program. Higher education has comparatively faced less challenges than their counterparts in K-12. As learning management systems are usually adopted in China, MOOCs have been developed, students are used to using computer and internet to work on projects. By the 8th of May, over 1 million professors from 1,455 higher education institutions offered more than 10 million courses. In total, over 70 million university students took these online courses. My university, Beijing Normal University, offered more than 3,000 courses online. Not only preparing our own online courses, higher education, especially researchers working in education and technology, were quick to take a proactive approach to deliver public lectures on how to design online learning and teaching for K-12 students. For example, between 15 and 23rd February, 12 of my colleagues at BNU offered online lectures. More than 340,000 teachers have learned from these lectures. Also, about 40 faculty members of School of Education Technology at BNU designed 97 macro resources to give K-12 teachers hands-on experience on how to design their video courses, how to design their teaching plans, which tool to use to promote interactions online. Research suggests that learning online can also be effective learning experience, but few K-12 teachers know how to utilize it. My research team had a public WeChat news group. We quickly translated a number of evidence-based research findings to guide K-12 teachers to better design their own courses before 17th of February, which is the start of the new term. The third important factor is the use of technology. As we may aware, technology is not the driving force to change our classroom-based learning into online learning, but without it, nothing could happen. The government, higher education industry, and teachers worked together to quickly launch a number of online platforms to support home study. This is a national online learning platform and a screenshot of the primary school English lessons. By the 11th of May, 1,700 million users used national online cloud classes. This is Beijing Cloud Classroom Air. They offer more than 13,000 courses in K-12. For some areas, technology are more developed. AI and big data-based learning platforms were adopted. On the left, this is an online chemistry experiment that was carried out online using project-based learning. On the right, this is a history class using conceptual mapping technology to enhance students' conceptual cognition. This platform was used in Beijing, supported by Advanced Innovation Center for Future Education at Beijing Normal University. The college entrance examination, you might know, known as Gaokao in Mandarin, is considered the most important test that Chinese students will take in their academic life. Between 3rd and 6th March, Beijing Education Commission organized an online mock examination for more than 50,000 students. Advanced Innovation Center for Future Education at Beijing Normal University developed AI-based online system to help disseminate examinations securely online and early matching personalized 3 subjects for individual students. AI-based evaluation was analyzed and reports were provided to teachers for reference. Also, personalized recommendation of resources were provided to students according to their examination results. Online Q&A sections were launched for students to seek for individual feedback. By the 31st of May, 112,000 questions were asked online, and over 1,700 teachers have provided more than 300,000 answers to these questions. On average, it only took about 50 minutes for each question to be answered. AI-enabled learning analytics were provided to teachers to further help students learn online. Also, on this AI platform, students were able to make a plan themselves, and some analytics were provided to parents for them to help their students home study. The fourth important stakeholder is education industry, who sets a new record for rapid capacity expansion. In China, even before COVID-19, there was already high growth and adoption in education technology in the market, with education technology investment reaching 300 billion RMB in 2019. The unplanned and rapid move to online learning with no training, insufficient bandwidth, and little preparation is backed up by our education industry. Tension Classroom has been used extensively. On Monday, the 7th of February, the first day of our new term, 50 million students and 6,000 teachers in China used the live streaming feature on DingTalk. More than 100,000 new cloud services were implemented in just 2 hours, which set a new record for rapid capacity expansion. Also, another Chinese company, Classing, only took a few days to support schools to launch the class online, and a variety of interactive tools were provided to teachers to enhance the learning experience of their students. Of course, the unplanned and rapid move to online learning will result in poor learning experience that is unconducive to sustained growth. But this resulted in the largest online movement in the history of education, and this gives us an opportunity to re-examine the problems and issues of our education system that have been overlooked. Of course, the last and the most important stakeholders are K-12 schools and the teachers who stepped out and challenged themselves, no matter whether they know technology or not, no matter whether they have their own case to look after or not, no matter whether they are the wives and husbands of doctors who fight for COVID-19 in hospital. A survey of over 7,000 teachers from 9 provinces were conducted by our center. As you can see, the majority of live stream lessons were conducted by K-12 teachers themselves. That is more than 35%. This is especially true for teachers in rural areas. I'll give you some examples to show you how online learning teaching have been carried out in schools in China. This is Chaoyang Primary School, Wuzhong City, Ningxia Province in the center of China. According to the online teaching delivered in the air at the National Learning Platform initiated by the government, the local teachers first sent teaching plans to students to preview lessons and use DingTalk as a tutoring tool to provide synchronized feedback to their students. Teachers of Chinese, mathematics, and English subjects work together and focus on the important difficult part for online tutoring daily. Also, schools use questionnaires, telephone interview, online analytics to monitor home study for every single student. They try to provide personalized tutoring to students who did well and who are likely to fail. All the members of the schools all work as tutors of a small group of students to make sure everyone were looked after during the pandemic. Number 1 High School of Xintai in Hebei Province, which is very close to Beijing, has used a variety of tools to support different work daily. For example, they use QQ group, WeChat group, and DingTalk group to deliver syllabus, exercise for students. Live stream lessons and Q&A were supported by DingTalk, Tension Classroom, and Whiteboard. Teaching and research groups were formed in this school. Training were provided to local K-12 teachers on how to integrate technology in teaching design in order to provide effective learning experience. And this is just an example of how English lessons was carried out online.
You must have heard of it. 也许听说过. I leave a note 就是说，但是我已经有 The planets, some planets are so huge and 就不知道，所以人类的意义。他说 Why is that path here? The Indian poet.
Okay, this is just an example of the video. I'll just quickly skip through. So Miss Wang worked as a primary school English teacher at Pingshangang in Guangxi province, which is located in the south part of China. She hasn't had any experience of using live stream tools for broadcasting. She kept a reflective diary to help her improve online teaching. In this diary, she wrote, on 20 February, I was trained to how to use Wuxin Tangbao platform. On 22nd February, my school started the new term online. I learned lessons from my 2 fellow colleagues. I was lucky my lesson was conducted on the third day, 24th of February. I gave students the first English lesson. Really the unplanned and rapid move to online learning for Miss Wang. But gradually, as time goes on, without any research experience, she has come up lots of effective strategies to improve her teaching. For example, she was writing, turning one teacher to multiple students' lessons into one-to-one teacher and students interaction, turning talking to computer into a dialogue between the teacher and students, also keeping time. And also, she quoted, what does not kill me makes me stronger, which shed a light of the spirit of these ordinary teachers who worked unknowing in front of their computers. And this is a spirit that helped us challenge ourselves in this difficult time. So during the period of difficult time, everyone worked together to try to provide education to our children, use online approaches. As an educator, we often ask, is learning online as effective? From a research point of view, I think it's too difficult to judge whether online learning is as effective as classroom, as there is no way we can conduct experimentation with the experimental group use online learning and the control group use classroom-based learning during the pandemic. The online learning has proved to be the only possible solution for us to contain the spread of virus. And our experience have shown that learning online is different. Most importantly, I think at this stage, as well as in the future, we should spend less time discussing which is good and which is not. Instead, understanding how online learning differs from traditional classroom-based learning is far more important for us to better support our future education. First, interactions are different. Learner to learner, learner to teacher, and learner to content interactions are different. As lack of learner to learner and learner to teacher interactions in online environments, more learner to content interactions could be enhanced to provide better learning experience. With regard to this point, AI, big data has shown their potential to empower the educational experience in China. Second, the cost of online learning is different. As lots of online learning programs are free from economic perspectives during the pandemic, teachers and parents are tending to take the more, the better, learning at no costs mindset to support their children. Students are under great pressure to cope with all these ever-increasing educational resources. As Simon said, a wealth of information creates a property of attention. We have only a limited capacity to process information. Attention has to be regulated to prevent the information process system from becoming overloaded. Also, digital divide is not a topic for the outbreak in our research. It also doesn't mean access to education. It further reflects to the openness of online learning and online resources. It is important to ask to what extent these learning resources are actually open to learners, and whether online learning is unfortunately constrained by some new form of distance in this online space. Our research has shown that the structure of this online learning space and the distance between learning resources and the offline space is a significant contingency for success. Also, public-private education partnership could grow in importance. No single stakeholder is able to make this possible. Diverse stakeholders, including the government, higher education researchers, educational professionals, teachers, and students, come together to solve the problem of online learning and hope this partnership will not go away, but become a consequential trend to future education. This has been a difficult time for all of us worldwide, but thinking positively, I think all of us working in education have realized that skills that our students need in this world, where unpredictable threats, disease changes might occur, time management, decision-making, problem solving, and perhaps above all, open mind, adaptation, flexibility are all the mindset that not only our students, but also we as educators should take home to further rebuild our education system in the future. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you very much. תודה רבה.
We have a question from the audience.
נכון.
What is the role of the parents in remote education during the shutdown? Were they expected to help, or did the teachers provide instructions for to the children? How was the remote learning monitored?
So in the rural areas in China, and the government and also the schools use the national cloud services to provide their lessons. Those lessons are provided by elite teachers from more developed areas using the internet. If they cannot access the internet, so the TV program channels, there are several number of channels that are live broadcasting the lessons in the TV. So to make sure that rural areas parents and their kids could listen and on the TV as well.
Okay.
Thank you very much.